Hi, everyone. Welcome back to A Day in My Life, the podcast where we talk about real stories and help you learn English along the way. I'm Emma.
And I'm Liam. In each episode, we share simple conversations in English about everyday life. It's a fun and easy way to improve your listening and learn useful words.
Today's episode is all about a special day I spent in a small French village. I was invited to a wedding there, and it was beautiful, surprising, and very different from weddings in my country.
Oh, I can't wait to hear about it. A wedding in a French village? That sounds like a movie.
It really felt like one. Let's start from the beginning.
Okay, Emma, how did this all happen? Were you invited by someone close?
Well, kind of. My friend Camille's cousin, Lucy, was getting married. I had only met Lucy once before, very briefly. But in France, family is big. And when one person gets invited, the whole family often comes along. So Camille said, "You're part of the family now. Come with us." At first, I wasn't sure if I should go because I didn't know many people, but I'm so happy I said yes.
I love that. Sometimes you just have to say yes to the invitation, even if it feels scary.
Exactly. We drove to the village in the morning. It was small and peaceful, with stone houses, flower boxes on windows, and lots of green hills around. It felt like I had stepped into a movie. Camille's grandparents lived there, so we changed clothes at their house and got ready for the big day.
Ooh, what did you wear? I feel like that's always the big question for weddings.
I wore a light blue dress, simple but elegant. Camille helped me choose it the day before. She told me, "Don't wear white, that's only for the bride." And she also said, "No black, it's too serious." So blue was perfect. I also wore flat shoes because she warned me, "We'll be standing a lot." And she was right.
Good advice. So what happened first?
The first part of the wedding was the civil ceremony at the mairie, or town hall. That's the legal wedding in France. The bride and groom, Lucy and Julien, walked in with their parents. There were maybe 40 people inside. A woman from the town read some laws, they signed a paper, and then, ta-da, they were officially married.
So it's like the serious part comes first?
Yes, but even that was very joyful. People clapped and smiled and took photos. Then we all walked together to the village church. It was only a 5-minute walk, but it felt really special. There were little children throwing flower petals and people ringing bells as we passed. The streets were so small that we had to walk in one line. It was like a little parade.
That sounds beautiful. Was the church part more traditional?
Very much. The church was old, maybe 200 years old, and decorated with candles and white flowers. A choir sang quietly as Lucy walked down the aisle with her father. Everyone stood up, and I think most people had tears in their eyes. I didn't understand every word the priest said, but I understood the feeling. Everyone was full of love.
That's really powerful. I think moments like that speak more than language.
Yes, and Lucy looked stunning. Her dress wasn't big and fluffy. It was soft and simple with a long veil. Julien looked nervous but so happy. And when they said "we" to each other, the whole church clapped.
Did you feel emotional?
Yes, even though I was a guest from another country, I felt so included. Camille held my hand during part of the ceremony and whispered some words to help me understand. It was really kind. I'll never forget how warm and open everyone was.
I love that. So what happened next? Was it time for food?
Not quite. After the church, there was a small break. People went back to their homes or guest houses to rest or freshen up. But we were all invited to the reception later that afternoon, and that was where the real celebration began. I'll tell you all about it in Chapter 2.
So, Emma, the ceremony sounds like it was full of emotion and beauty, but I have to ask, what was the wedding reception like? That's always my favorite part.
Oh, Liam, the reception was something I will never forget. It was held in a large barn just outside the village. But this wasn't a normal barn. It was decorated with hanging lights, flowers, and long wooden tables. There were candles everywhere. It felt like a fairy tale.
That sounds magical already. Was there a big group of people?
Yes, there were maybe 80 or 90 guests in total. Some were friends of the bride and groom, some were family from other parts of France, and a few, like me, were guests from far away. Everyone was smiling, taking pictures, and helping each other find their seats.
I love how welcoming people sound. Where did you sit?
I sat with Camille and her family at a long table close to the dance floor. Each table had a small card with names so we knew where to sit. On my plate, there was a tiny handwritten note from the bride. It said, "Thank you for being here." That small message made me feel so special.
Wow, that's such a thoughtful touch. Okay, now tell me about the food. French weddings are famous for good food, right?
Yes, and it was amazing. But it wasn't fast. The dinner had 5 courses. First, there were small snacks like cheese puffs and olives while we waited. Then came the appetizer, goat cheese salad with warm bread. After that, we had duck with potatoes and green beans. Every bite was full of flavor.
That already sounds like a full meal.
It was, but there was more. After the main dish, we had a cheese course. They brought out a tray with 5 different kinds of French cheese. I tried each one, even the smelly blue cheese. Camille told me, "You have to try it at least once." So I did.
You're brave. What came after the cheese?
Dessert, of course. The wedding cake was called a croquembouche. It's a tall tower made of cream-filled pastries, all held together with caramel. It looked like a piece of art. When they brought it out, everyone clapped and cheered. Then Lucy and Julian cut the bottom and gave the first pieces to their parents.
That sounds delicious. Did people start dancing after the cake?
Yes, and that's when things got really fun. The music started with a slow song and the bride and groom had their first dance. After that, the DJ played French pop music and a few American songs too. People of all ages got up to dance. Kids, grandparents, everyone.
Were you dancing too?
Of course. At first, I was a little shy, but Camille pulled me onto the dance floor. We danced for hours. Even though I didn't know all the songs, I didn't care. I just followed the rhythm and laughed with everyone.
That's what it's all about. Did the party go late?
Very late. In fact, we didn't leave until almost 3 in the morning. But time passed so quickly, I didn't even feel tired. There were games, speeches, even a slideshow of photos from Lucy and Julian's childhood. Everyone was smiling, crying, hugging. It was beautiful.
Wow, that sounds like such a rich experience. Not just a celebration, but also a way to really understand French culture.
Exactly. The food, the music, the emotions, it was all part of it. I learned so much that night, not only about French weddings, but also about being open, about celebrating love with others. It made me feel connected.
And I think that's something our listeners can take away too. When you try something new, even if it's a little scary, it can open the door to amazing memories.
Absolutely. I'm so glad I said yes to Camille's invitation. And guess what? There was still more to come the next day, but I'll tell you about that in Chapter 3.
Okay, Emma, I thought weddings were just one day, but you said there was more the next morning? That sounds exciting and a little tiring.
Yes, it was both. After going to bed at almost 4 in the morning, I thought we'd sleep all day. But no, at 9, Camille's grandmother knocked on our door and said, "Time to get up, there's more celebration today." I was so sleepy, but I didn't want to miss anything.
Wow, they really know how to celebrate in that village. What was planned for the next day?
The second day was called Le Lendemain de Mariage, which means the day after the wedding. It's like a relaxed follow-up party. The idea is for close friends and family to gather again, eat, talk, and share stories from the night before. It's more casual, no fancy clothes, no big schedule, just good company.
That actually sounds lovely. I wish we did that more often where I'm from. What was it like?
We walked to Camille's uncle's house. He had a big garden and set up long tables outside under the trees. The sun was shining, birds were singing. It was the perfect summer morning. People were sitting in small groups, sipping coffee or juice. Everyone looked a little tired, but very happy.
I can imagine. What kind of food did they serve? Was it another 5-course meal?
No, not this time. The food was simpler, but still delicious. There were big baskets of fresh bread, homemade jams, slices of ham and cheese, fruit, and even leftover wedding cake. Camille's aunt made quiche and someone brought a huge bowl of fruit salad. It felt like a family picnic.
It sounds like everyone brought something and shared it.
Exactly. And what I loved most was how warm and open everyone was. Even people I had only said hello to the day before came and sat with me. They asked where I was from, if I liked the food, how I met Camille. Even if I didn't understand everything, they spoke slowly and smiled a lot. I felt like part of the family.
That's really special. Did you speak much French?
I tried. I said simple things like merci pour le repas, thank you for the meal, or c'est très bon, it's very good. Camille helped me when I didn't know the right word, and honestly, people were so patient. It gave me a lot of confidence to keep learning.
I love hearing that. I think our listeners can learn from that too. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to try.
Yes, and the more I tried, the more people opened up to me. After lunch, people started playing games in the yard. There was a game with wooden sticks called pétanque, which is kind of like bowling on gravel. I didn't really know how to play, but they handed me a ball and said, "Come join us." So I did.
And how did you do?
Terribly. I was so bad. But everyone laughed and cheered anyway. It wasn't about winning, it was about sharing the moment. Later, some of the older women sat in a circle and started telling stories from their own weddings, some from 30 or even 50 years ago. It was beautiful to listen, even if I only understood half of it.
It sounds like you didn't just attend a wedding, you really became part of the community for a weekend.
That's exactly how it felt. I came as Camille's guest, but I left feeling like I had 20 new friends. It reminded me that sometimes when you're far from home, kindness and connection are the most important things.
And I think that's something a lot of people learning English can relate to. Being in a new place, hearing a new language, it can be scary. But when people are kind and when you stay open, you can have the best experiences.
Yes, and this experience also helped me learn more English and French. After I went home, I wrote down the words I had heard, I looked them up, practiced, and even used them later when I sent thank you messages to Camille's family.
That's such a good idea. Writing down new words after real-life conversations is a great way to learn. I think our listeners should try that too.
Definitely. And I think the best way to improve your language skills is to live the language, to feel it in your life, not just in books or classrooms. This wedding was full of life, food, love, and language, and I'll always carry those memories with me.
What an amazing experience. I can't wait to hear how the rest of your time in the village went in Chapter 4. So Emma, after such a beautiful weekend, it must have been hard to say goodbye. How did your last day in the village go?
It really was hard, Liam. I woke up early because I wanted to enjoy every last minute. The house was quiet, most people were still sleeping, but the smell of coffee came from the kitchen. Camille's dad was already up, reading the newspaper. He smiled at me and said, "Did you sleep well?" I said yes, even though I had tears in my eyes already.
That sounds emotional. Did you have breakfast with everyone again?
Yes, slowly people came into the kitchen, still in their pajamas, still smiling. We had croissants, jam, and fresh orange juice. Everyone was talking about the wedding, the dancing, the food, and funny moments from the night. Someone said I had great dance moves, which made me laugh.
You must have made a great impression.
I hope so. Around noon, it was time to pack. Camille helped me fold my clothes, and I gave her a little gift I brought from home, a small notebook with flowers on the cover. I had written a thank you message in it. Thank you for sharing your family, your home, and this amazing weekend with me. She gave me a big hug and said, "You'll always have a place here."
That's beautiful. What about the rest of the family?
I said goodbye to everyone one by one. Camille's grandmother gave me a kiss on each cheek and told me, "Come back soon." Her cousin gave me his email and said if I ever visit France again, he'd show me around Paris. Everyone was so warm. It felt like leaving a second home.
Did you cry?
Yes, just a little. But I also felt really happy. I had come to the village as a guest, a stranger, and I was leaving with new friends, new words in my head, and memories I'll never forget. The drive back to the train station was quiet. Camille and I talked about small things, what snacks we liked, what music we were listening to, but we didn't need to say much. We both knew this trip was special.
It sounds like one of those moments in life where everything just feels right.
Exactly. Even the things I didn't understand, the small mistakes I made when speaking French, they didn't matter. What mattered was being there, learning through living, sharing laughs and stories. That's the best kind of learning, I think.
I agree, and I think this episode showed something really important, that language isn't just grammar or vocabulary, it's people, feelings, and connection. And when we open ourselves to new experiences, we grow so much.
Yes, and I hope this story inspires our listeners too. You don't have to be perfect. Just be present, be curious. Say yes when life invites you to a French village wedding or anything new.
Thanks for joining us today on this special episode of A Day in My Life. We hope you enjoyed hearing about Emma's adventure at a wedding in a French village.
And we hope it helps you learn some new English words and phrases while also reminding you that trying new things, even in another language, can be beautiful and exciting.
If you liked this episode, don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. And if you're practicing English, try repeating some of the sentences you heard today.
We'll be back soon with more fun stories, simple conversations, and everyday English to help you on your journey.
Both, thanks for listening, and see you next time.